and I've gotten down at Madhvara, happily walking, and she's like, this looks different. It's not like yesterday's. I said, no, what are you saying? Just keep walking. It's there, it's there. And then we get to like the end of the station, and it's written big bold, Manjunatha Nagara, and she's like, I don't think this is Madhvara. And I'm like, yeah, evidently. And then we'd again board a train and come to Madhvara, and I'm like, wow, I was kicking myself throughout because I'm like, I've never done this, so it's not okay. And she's like, no, it's okay. Like, what is the big deal? And then realize that, small thing like mindfulness, just double checking, just doing that one bit in that present moment. While we don't value it then, in hindsight, we'd be like, why? You wasted that 2 minutes. You wasted that 3 minutes. And as destiny would have it, I am introducing a speaker today who is here as a mindfulness coach. So, welcome, Aarti. I'm going to do like a quick reading of your bio because I just got it fresh. Aarti Asrani is a TEDx speaker, best-selling author, life transformation coach, and she's empowered thousands of people worldwide to break from limitations and create the life they desire, which is pretty much all of us. We are here to live the life we desire. So, Aarti, please tell us how. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So before we get started, this is going to be an interactive session, so definitely we'll look forward to your interaction. And it'd be nice if you get a little closer, if people can join in at the back.
And it's also cooler in the front.
Yeah,
so
since all the seats are empty.
Come, if you guys want to shift in front.
A little in the shade.
Yeah, it's cooler this side, so.
So while you all are moving, how many of you all like music out here? I guess everybody loves music, don't we? Do you have a favorite playlist that you refer to? Yeah. And sometimes you're in the mood for something new, right? So what do you generally do when you're in the mood for something new? You probably are scrolling through your playlist, and you think that I'm in a mood for a certain kind of a vibe. And while you're in a mood for a certain kind of a vibe, you may come across certain words. And you think, okay, let me test this out. Let me test out this particular song. And you may pause and click on it. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Then maybe you go to another one. And then you come across something that you feel like, wow, I can really relate to this. And that's not something you were searching for, but you probably have stumbled upon something and you like it. That's what happens when we open up our minds and we open ourselves to questions. While I have been introduced as a mindfulness coach, I'm going to be speaking about a very important element, which is questions. We are so used to getting into answers for ourselves or searching answers. In school, we were told, right? Tell us what the answer is. Itne question you should not have. And therefore, we continuously try to avoid questions, but questions can be very beneficial in the journey of your own growth. And Anil, you were right, it is hot out here. Okay, all right. So questions begin to really open up zones in your mind which you didn't know that existed. Like the song you probably came across, that you weren't aware of it, but you came across something that you began to like. Questions, if we did not have questions, and it would be a place where we would not come across a lot of inventions that have come across today. Inventions, when we talk about inventions, these are the discoveries, right? Questions that we have like, why is it so hot today? Or why is the sky blue? Or why do fish swim? Why do birds fly? Or something more relevant like, what got us into learning more about the space, and we stepped out into the space of space. So if you began to ask questions on a daily basis, that will begin to open up many different areas in your life. And I'm going to step down because I think I'm feeling very hot out here. Oh. Okay. I think it's the lights. Is it okay if I'm down here? Yeah. Okay. So while we are getting to questions, what do answers really do? Answers begin to conclude the spaces. Now think of a particular statement or something that you are going through at the moment. All right? Think of a statement. And hold that in your mind. And for those who have a book or your phone, write down that statement for a moment. Just write down whatever is coming to your mind about a particular situation. Let that be a statement. Have you penned down something? Okay. Okay. Anything. It can be like, I don't believe this can happen. Or this is too hard. Anything. It can be a statement, or I have to always work really hard to get there. Have you written it down? It's very important that you write it down. Yeah? Anyone want to share their statement? You want to share? Sure. Do you have a mic here? You can just share till...
This is Rosmi. So I have written, how should I sort it out quickly?
So that's a question. But I want you to write a statement. Okay? Anybody else with a statement? Yeah?
It is so sunny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Did you come up with something else? This is tough. Okay. So I'm sure some of you have your statements across there. Now, at the end of the statement, put a question mark. Now, look at that statement again. How does that feel different to you? What happens when you just put a question at the end of the statement? Observe in your own head what begins to happen. So what happens for you?
I have written, this is tough. When I add the question, I feel like, is it really tough?
Thanks for sharing that. So what begins to happen with a question, there are areas in your mind that begin to open up that were earlier closed. So questions open up things that we are not even aware of. The moment you get into an answer of something or a conclusion, you have concluded. And that conclusion ends up in you not exploring the possibility of anything else happening other than what you have stated. So beginning to find a new path or beginning to create a new possibility in anything that you would like, it begins with this question. Why does this really happen? Okay, so your brain is like a computer. Okay, we all have access to computers today. All your beliefs, your thoughts, your conditionings, all of that are stored in this computer like a bug. Now, this bug keeps showing up because that's what you have placed in there. Now, suddenly, when the question comes up, it is like upgrading your computer or downloading a new program. Once you have upgraded that computer, suddenly that bug will not show because now you have deleted that and rerouted the computer to something else. So it's important to learn the art of, actually we all have the art of knowing how to place these questions. But the whole point is that do we exercise this in order to move our lives the way we would like to in the directions that we want to. If you see, I'm sorry, your name was? Rosmi. As Rosmi shared, there was suddenly a new direction that she found because of that particular, just the question mark. And that begins to open up possibilities where we feel that this is the dead end. There is nothing beyond this now, because you have gone into the conclusion. But questions open up those zones, and it's important to explore those zones because now we can move somewhere else. Yeah? Are you with me? Yeah. Any question on questions? Anything coming up for you so far? Okay. So from here, I am going to even get into this aspect of the brain where I was talking about the brain and it being a computer. Now, why is it that we need these questions. Think of a brain as a web, all right? You turn on one light, and suddenly all the others come on, right? And let's try this out, okay? I would like you to look around and see and observe all the places that there is red. Find the color red, okay, and just spot everywhere there is red. Yeah? While you observed everything that is red around you, did you spot the purple? No. Did you spot the purple? Yeah. But most of us delete that information. That's because when we are looking for something, we find everything connected to the same. And that's the way the brain functions. So in our brain, we have these neurons. Yeah? So neurons, they begin to connect with each other in order to form similar patterns. So when I am concluded in a statement, everything that is true with that statement is what I will continue to observe, just like the red. Yeah. Is that sunny for you? You want to move from there? Yeah. So the point is that what you are looking for is what you're going to find. But if you put a question and begin to curiously ask these things, it begins to change the direction of where you actually are. Are you getting me? So it's important, again, coming back to, in order to have a different life, you need to begin to ask yourself various different questions. There was this one young client who had come in, and she basically was feeling very stuck in her life. So she said, I'm feeling very stuck with my creativity. And she said, I don't think I can build on my social media. Everyone is ahead of me. Very real, right? A lot of us feel like that. Any of you feel like you're stuck in certain areas of your life? Yeah? Yeah. So being stuck in this particular area of your life, just for a moment, think about whatever that area is. It could be relationships, it could be work, it could be issues with the family, it could be studies, it could be anything. So explore and see where exactly do you feel that there is this stuckness, or maybe a pattern that is continuing to happen over and over again. And I would like for you to, in this moment, as you're there, just observe and ask yourself this question, which is, what else is possible here that I have not even considered yet? Okay, so I want you to close your eyes, and as I keep repeating, just imagine that situation and ask yourself, what else is possible here that I have not even considered yet? What else is possible here that I have not even considered yet? What else is possible here that I've not even considered yet? And as you do that, you can open your eyes. What happens when you ask that question? Anyone want to share? Yeah?
One thing I want to share, like, I don't want to see people. Like, I don't want to date anyone. It's like a fear inside me, something, because of some experience in the past. So that is like one thing. So question is like the self-doubt, like insecurity is like not.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. But when I asked this particular question, which is to your situation, yeah, please.
So actually, I started to think about why I am stuck in one career. What are the other options? Then I closed my eyes. I started to think about several other things also. What
Right.
can I do for my son? Like, what's his next step in education? What's my career? All those things. Not only one thing, several things came up.
Okay. Okay, so you basically allowed for the brain to move into other kind of areas of questions. But with regards, so we're going to do this again, all right? Because I don't know how many of you might have done it the way I probably put it. We're going to think of as a situation, just one situation that I might be facing, like I am not able to study a particular subject, or I cannot speak to this person, or my boss is very, etc., and I am not able to approach him, you know. And when you get into that statement or that situation, you might be going through a life problem, only for that particular situation, okay? Ask yourself, what else is possible that I've not even considered yet? Does anyone have anything specifically come up? Would you like to share? No. Okay. Does anyone have any life problems? Yeah.
I'm stuck in the same company for 1.5 years. Like, as in, like, my manager wasn't that good. So I was trying to change continuously, but then, like, I'm still stuck. But when you asked that question, I was trying to think of the possibilities, like connecting with the other people. Like, I went to all three to connect with the recruiters, but then, like, I can even connect with the people here. So I was considering that. I was not thinking that I was stuck. I was thinking of the possibilities to come out of the situation. And many people are here to come out of that situation.
Thank you so much. So, yeah, so it is about that. So this is actually a very, a question that you can take back and keep with yourself for all the times that you feel that you're feeling stuck, where you feel that I can't move from here. There's nothing going to happen. It's an absolute dead end. You know, all doors are closed. Because like I said earlier, when you're looking for the red, it's the red that you're going to see. So when you say the doors are closed, everything, all the proof that is available that is going to tell you that the doors are closed is going to show up. But when you interject the mind with a question like, what else is possible that I've not considered yet, the mind does not have any other choice but to move in another direction. Now, why does this really work? It works because there's a chain of thoughts that is going on, you know, over and over again. And suddenly, anybody played video games here? You can raise your hand if anybody has ever played video games. Yeah. So imagine that you're playing a video game and suddenly you have this pause button. And you can pause and change the direction. Yeah? Or you're going on the road and there's a speed bump. So your conditionings, your beliefs, the way you look at things, your statements are all like this path that you're moving on. And suddenly there's a speed bump. The question is like the speed bump, which slows down the process of the mind to think in a direction which is not working for you. And now you have that pause, you have that moment to take that in another direction. When the mind is interjected with a question, it begins to take a new path. The mind is like a brilliant slave, actually, where you can take it in any direction you want. We've all searched on Google, right? Is there anybody who hasn't searched on Google? I don't think so. So we've all searched something on Google. Now, when we go to the search column, and let's say something you're looking for. Anybody recently searched for something?
So we had a session in the executive, and Srija madam, ma'am gave such an inspiring, stories of her own life. So I searched her. I followed her on the LinkedIn right away. So yeah.
Yeah, you search for the speakers, or you search for the event, or you searched what is Grasshopper all about, or what were you searching for?
While arriving, we search for a good breakfast place.
Allowing research for a good breakfast place. So, yeah, being in Bangalore. Are you from Bangalore? Okay. No, I'm not from Bangalore, so I would also search that up. But when you search, what happens? There's suddenly a drop down of all the options related to that search, right? Are you searching for a breakfast place and it starts showing you maybe technical equipments? No, it'll give you breakfast places. If you're searching for someone on LinkedIn, it'll give you someone on LinkedIn. If you're searching for maybe purses, it'll give you purses. It's not going to give you shoes. My point being, your brain is like that search bar. The question you place there is the direction it's going to take you in. So if you are going to put a statement and a conclusion about something, it will show you everything related to that. So one needs to be mindful about what you are really putting in that mind of yours. Whatever is the input is going to be the output. So at this moment again, I will ask you that what is the input that you are inputting in that brain of yours? And wherever your life is at this moment, however it is, what are the thoughts connected to that? So pause and think that step one, take an account of where you are right now. And step two, ask yourself, how am I programming this brain of mine because of which I am here in this particular manner? And now, what can I do differently to change this? So step one, step two, and step three, ask the question that what else is possible that I've not even considered yet. So in that form, you begin to take a new route or reroute the brain. The brain doesn't know anything better. It wants efficiency. It does not want to do for you something that is to your advantage or helpful. It only knows efficiency. So if you say, show me red, it'll show you red. Show me violet, it'll show you violet. This cannot be done, it will give you proof enough it cannot be done. This can be done, or show me ways how this can be done. It will show you ways how something can be done. So it's about how you program the brain in order to get what you want, and that can be done through questions. Yeah.
Thank you. So she was mentioning about the working with bad boss, manager, right? And she had like maybe I'm not sure, but couple of bad instances, bad experiences, like trusting the people, for a career path or growth, right? Suppose she changed the team and she had like some fear, like some questions, like, hey, let's be positive, like this guy is good and things like that. But what if like something similar happens, right? And we train our mind, oh no, don't believe it, like things going to be fine. Like what do you suggest, like how she should move?
So since it's not her question, I'm going to ask you, what is your question? Hers is a hypothetical situation.
Same situation, like same thing. So you can talk about yourself. Okay, so like let's see like a bad manager, we were working with a bad manager, really bad manager, and some promotion got stuck because of that, and we changed the team, and again bad manager situation. But I suppose as a person, like I never faced it, but I was motivated, let's assume, and I pushed myself and stayed positive, and let's say like again some bad things happen for a reason which we don't have a control over. So like how to question and
So if I'm getting you correctly, you're talking about triggers and behaviors. Yeah. So triggers and behaviors can be a deeper work, which we are actually not discussing about at the moment. But what I would like to say is it is starting with the question. And when you say, I tried to be positive, there is a difference between trying to be positive and being positive. You know, because trying always is a half effort. And in order to get to being positive, one needs to really dig in a little deeper what the issue is. And then it can play out everywhere else also. So whether you are experiencing the same situation in various different places, and if you are experiencing the same situation, then what about the situation or what about this that you need to begin to probably observe? So it's a question you can ask. That what do I need to know more about this so that the change can begin to come? You know, so when you're asking a question, an open-ended question, it begins to change. Now, thanks for asking that though. And from there I want to even add that when you're asking a question, it is not with wanting to have the answer. Generally, what we do is we try to solve things because that's what we're taught, right? That you have a question, a answer you have to write. But it's not about resolving it. It's about directing the brain. Just like when you put in the search bar, you put the question in the search bar. It's not that you have to write the answer when you put this, it in the Google search bar. You put the question and the answers show up, and then you select. So in a similar fashion, when you ask a question, it is about allowing it to continue to play so that it comes to you rather than you deciding. Because the moment you have decided that this is the answer, you've again gone into a conclusion. And then the conclusion does not allow you to have a different reality. It brings the same reality over and over again. And if I have a perspective that, let's say my boss is not nice, okay? And I am trying to do my best, but the fact is that my boss is not nice. It is like looking at the red, where I'm continuing to see that the boss is not great, And so all the proof of that will continue to show up. Maybe if I ask, what is right about him that I'm not getting? Maybe you begin to direct the brain into some other parameter where you can begin to see now that, okay, maybe he's not that bad, Also, the first activity that we did, where you write the question and you can write that, my boss is not great. And then you put a question mark at the end of it. It's like playing the devil's advocate. And you put the question and you question yourself on the statement that you have placed for yourself. By doing so, there are many, many, many different zones that begin to happen. So if I ask you to do that, let's say you say the boss is not great, but if you put a question at the end of it, what happens?
Some negative thought comes about self-doubt also comes, right? That maybe like you're talking about the boss, like the question. Yeah.
So my question to you is that if your statement is that my boss is not great, okay, that's your statement. Now you put a question mark at the end of it. So you write it down. So do it while I continue to interact. Write down the statement, the boss is not great, and then you put a question mark at the end of it. So Rose, I may call you Rose? Yeah. So Rose had very nicely shared that in the beginning. So yeah, there was a question there, yeah. There's a mic.
So most of the times we are positive and we try to get to the right solution. But sometimes, especially when it comes to our near and dear ones, or somehow we are very much connected. So there we go with certain expectations and it doesn't happen. We are very thoughtfully, we are not looking at alternatives. We want to get angry and we want to show how bad they are, right? But that spoils the relationship. So how do you see it? How do we control our thoughts and still be right? In professional world, we are very thoughtful, right? We give them a chance. We think more broadly. We look at alternatives, but it doesn't happen everywhere, right? So how do we mindfully train our mind, maybe?
Okay, thank you for the question. So there's no one way to do it. And as long as we're trying to control somebody, the fact is that we are being controlled. So controlling someone is controlling self. Sorry?
So I wanted to share something from my personal life. For the longest time, my parents were trying to get me married and whatever, like the matrimony thing was not working. And when anyone asked me, I would, promptly say, it's easier to win a lottery than find a boy that I like. And I kept saying it so many times that I actually won the lottery. So I won a car in the lottery, but I didn't find a guy.
Congratulations.
There. Thank you. And then I realized that, okay, you know what? This is like a hack. Like I can game it. And reading secret and magic and all of that, I think it kind of helped, or it was meant to be then. And then I've met my partner. Now we have a baby. And to connect that to what you said, don't focus on what not, but do. But talking to my 1.5-year-old, she doesn't understand don't. I can't tell her don't drop it because she's only hearing drop. She's like, let's drop it. Let's see what happens. So the same way, like if there's apple and strawberry, I can't tell her pick up what is not strawberry. I have to tell her pick up apple. So even even when writing, I say don't get angry. I don't say don't get angry because to the universe, only anger is going. Because the don't piece is not going to the universe. So how can I be happy? So focusing on the positive kind of helps in what ma'am was asking as well, in when we want to convey. Yeah, think that I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. And to that, I think I'm going to even add the question which I asked her also, which is, what is right about this or them that I am not getting? Because the mind is programmed to search for the negative. Yeah? So we somehow gravitate towards the negative. And therefore, it's very important to again interject the mind at that moment and ask that what is right about this. Because we all experience that, right? We all experience going through situations that are probably we don't like, or people around us are not behaving in a certain manner. But the moment you interject the brain with the question, you will see that there's a new series of thoughts that begins to get created from there. There are new possibilities that begin to open up. Yeah? Yeah.
So how do we draw the line between positiveness and reality? Say, suppose drawing on the example of the bad boss, if we continue, every cloud do have a silver lining. So if we continue to think, okay, he's a good person and we could get points, but we might be stuck there if we are always thinking of positive. We'll be like stuck in that situation, right? Say, like everything has a good and bad. So how long should we be enduring and finding the positiveness, and where do we draw the line?
Yeah, so everything is not good and bad, and there's no positivity or negativity. It's about perspective. It's about choice. So when you're saying that it's good or bad, it's a perspective. For example, what do you think about this event?
It is good.
It is good. Yeah, while you're thinking this is good, let's pass the mic to someone else, and what do they think about the event?
Yeah, the event is not good, it's great.
Okay, it's not good, it's great. So, let's say, what's your favorite fruit?
Watermelon,
Watermelon. What's yours?
strawberry.
Strawberries. So it's just a matter of perspective. Even the boss, when she's talking about, or you are speaking about, is the boss good to anybody? Or that's my question. You want to give her the mic back? What do you feel? Is the boss good to anybody, or?
This is a hypothetical.
Oh, that was a hypothetical. So hypothetical can't be answered because it's make-believe. But do you have a situation that you are going through that you feel that you're stuck with?
Right now, no.
No. Okay, then that's great. Yeah. Because when you're saying to draw the line between where do you draw the line of positivity, my question to you actually is that what is reality to you? And your experience of reality is very different from my experience of reality. And if reality is different for you and me, there is no reality. It's only what is in my mind. And therefore, it's possible for me only to direct it the way I would like to direct it. So now, where would I like to take these thoughts, and what are my boundaries that I would like to create that are okay for me in my reality? You know, so there is no generalization of a situation. Does that answer? Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
I would like to share one realization listening to all this conversation. So what happened yesterday, I was in one session and I asked one question to the presenter. And the answer I got, it was like, no, this area we don't cover. So I mean, initially I felt like, oh, did I ask the wrong question at wrong place? Maybe. And it took me some time to get out of that, situation where, I was thinking about the same situation again and again. But the way you said, like, we should not run behind the questions and to seek for answers. So it's like, it's okay if I haven't got the answer yesterday. Maybe that was for a reason. Like, I don't have got the conclusion.
Yeah.
I still have some more open paths to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's important to keep the question alive. Thanks for sharing that. It's not really always about the answers, but it's important to keep the questions alive. How are we doing on time? We're done? Yeah. I just want to end with a Zen quote, which is actually very connected to what we are speaking of. And the Zen quote says that we do not seek to find the answers. We keep the questions open. So, and the reason why we do that, because the moment we try to search the answers or look for the answers or run behind the answers, we have already closed the door. So you have to keep the door open. Yeah. Thank you so much.